Oh, there you go. It is 5:22 a.m. and we're about to get started. Good morning, day 386. What can I say? Life's looking pretty good. I slept 7.5 hours, and I am good to go this morning. For those of you watching, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours in a night. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance, which is proving to be a challenge, and 120 to 150 grams of protein in a day. And so for strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training, today's mobility training, and generally while I'm at home, I use kettlebells because that is the cheapest gym that I can create for myself here at home in my own kitchen. Besides that, I try to spend time with people I love and care about, do things that I enjoy, and generally live a stress-free life. Now, this is not about the way I look. This is all about the way I feel. I just want to feel fit and competent and capable for what life is going to throw at me, and life tends to throw a lot at you. I would like to be able to live an adventurous life, go out, active holidays, be active throughout the day, be active in the evening, but also have a job that I need to perform at, and have kids that want to play, run around, do fun things, and want to be able to do all of that and more with them. So yeah, here we are. This is, like I would say, any fitness or health goal is a valid fitness or health goal because health and fitness is incredibly personal. Could be weight gain, weight loss, weight maintenance, getting stronger, getting bigger, building endurance, a combination of all of the above, just, wanting to move around and stay in shape, whatever the goal is that you're after, that's a valid and good goal. And don't let anyone tell you anything else, because health and fitness is really personal, not only the goals we have, but also how we go about obtaining them. And as we go on to this journey together, remember that we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow, to those goals that we're after. So just keep that in mind, all right? And the only way to get anything done, friend, is by showing up and doing the work. So I'm going to hit the timer, and we are going to get started with some mobility today, and then some core at the end. And in the meantime, it is Tuesday. You can let me know how you feel and where you're at. In life and on your fitness journey this year. Mine started pretty well, but to be very honest, I find myself more and more often not wanting to get out of bed in the morning to do my routine. And I think that's a slippery slope, because it is quite the habit to have built over the course of a year. And I do not intend to simply relinquish it. I think one of the things that doesn't help is that I was doing so well in December. And then I hurt my foot, right? So I got slightly injured, which prevented me, one, from going on my runs, but two, also prevented me from actually doing kettlebell for a week. And I lost a bit of motivation there. And then when I did do kettlebell again. I hurt my shoulder without doing anything crazy, just maybe a bit of a structural weakness that needs dealing with. And there we are. Poor man's Jim. Hey, how's it going, buddy? You doing all right? You doing good on that super big burpees challenge? And you're having a good Monday. I think it's end of day Monday where you're at in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So like I was saying, so I got injured, foot and then shoulder. And I think that overall, those two things taken together are kind of dampening my enthusiasm, because I was very excited about being able to snatch 12 kilos, and I even got up to 16 kilos. I know that's been on hold, so we're definitely going to have some regression in the strength and capacity of doing some overhead work that we're going to have to build up over time again. And it was a theme last year, and I think it'll just be a theme for the rest of my life. So what we need to learn to do is take it slow and build strength and capacity over time, very gradually. And there's no need to rush anything. But it is worth just keeping in mind and noting that out loud. So yeah, Tuesday morning, second real week of the year, because the year started on Wednesday. So here we are. Well, let's see what the rest of the year is bringing us. We are traveling to the sun in 9 weeks. Less than 9 weeks. No, 9 weeks. April. So that is something to look forward to with the family. Since we didn't see a lot of sun in December, that is definitely going to do us some good. But then it turned out in planning, so the national holiday is 1 week. Then, because it falls around Good Friday and Easter Monday, which are also national holidays, the school decided to give us the week after Easter Monday off as well. So suddenly we had 2 weeks of holidays to fill. Monster routine earlier, very good. Yeah, sure, velocity work, very good. You're gonna be a big setback, and you're just gonna back. Yeah, exactly, right. And that's one of the things that I'm like coming to terms with myself. That I think a part of the motivation dip has something to do with the fact that I have suffered a couple of these injuries, and it's not the injury or the pain itself, but it is them preventing me from pushing myself a bit harder and a bit heavier. So we focus on swings, which is fun, But there's just something that feels really good when you do a couple of snatches and they go well. Quite a boost you get from doing cool stuff, I guess, or seeing your capacity and your limits improve. Well, anyway, it's no big deal, but it's clear we see the same issues, and I guess preventing injuries and learning how to prevent injuries is a part of our health and fitness journey. Learning how our bodies work, learning what they're capable of, learning what we should and should not do, should avoid, and where we have some structural or technical issues where we need to grow stronger. And we grow stronger visiting a physiotherapist, checking out, probably going to prescribe some exercises next time. Beyond what we're already doing. To build that capacity, strength, and stability. One thing's for sure, we're not giving up. We're going to continue on the journey to become strong and fit and healthy in our 40s. And fit for life and what it has to offer. So yeah, if you're watching this, probably on a similar journey that I am. You're living life, and you want to stay fit and healthy. Stay fit and healthy because the challenges life is offering you, but also because you realize that in the long run, if we're fit and healthy, capable, we're going to get a bit more out of life and living. Okay, I'm going to go into some cat and cow. Since it's Tuesday, let's talk about nutrition and food. Challenges there. I have some significant challenges that have snuck in during the Christmas break and are persistent and refusing to leave. First of all, the battle with the candy jars at work continues. It's not the licorice this time around. That's the problem. What's the problem is sugar-coated almonds. Gijoji, hello, thank you for dropping by and saying hi. Appreciate you coming around and saying hello. Those run backsides. Yeah, I know. We're working on a routine with physio to build the shoulders. I agree. So has a brand routine. Should also try. All right, I'll check that out. Thanks for dropping that in here. I'll look him up, Jesse Pollack, and I appreciate that, Daniel. Thanks a lot for sharing. Mr. White, thanks for dropping back by. Grocery store super packed with unhealthy foods. Right? Those grocery stores. Um, it is. Um, it is very easy to find high calorie food with very low nutritional value in any other sense. And at the office, the challenge I face is that we have sugar-coated almonds. And sugar-coated almonds are, how should I put it? Sugar-coated almonds are my nemesis because they are a strange combination of super sweet, crunchy, and a bit fatty and salty that you start eating them and you can't stop. And I can guarantee you that that's an extra 400 or 500 calories easy in a day. Those are 400 or 500 calories that I don't need. The only thing that's going to do is going to screw up my goal of weight maintenance because I'm going to put on weight. I'm going to put on weight in a way that I'm not interested in putting weight on. So that's a struggle. Generally, though, like, I'm hitting my overall goal of eating healthy and nutritious foods. Eating 120 and 150 grams of protein. But for some reason, I am falling prey to snacking, specifically sweet stuff. And it's really easy, right? You can eat completely healthy and completely right. And you'll generally, with 3 meals and a snack, you'll hit your energy expenditure. Anything on top of that is going to be surplus calories, which simply get translated into fat. And we all need a little bit of fat. Fat helps us function. So there's nothing wrong with fat per se. And my stated goal is to be healthy, not super lean or to have a visible six-pack. But my stated goal to stay healthy is also to maintain my weight. So I do not want to put on any more weight, and that's why nutrition is so important, because out of all of the tools we have to manage weight, nutrition is definitely the most effective one. So you have to eat to function, to have the energy to do the things that need to be doing, that need to be done. But at the same time, we have to exercise control and agency over the quantities of what we eat in order to maintain that balance between energy intake and energy expenditure. And there is no world in which you can outtrain a poor diet. So in other words, for health and fitness, weight maintenance is important. And for weight maintenance, understanding the nutritional values, what we're eating, and what kind of diet is going to serve us well is important. And there's different paths to that. You can do some research online. There's good web pages with good insights on what a healthy diet is for general health and fitness. There are a lot of pages out there with information for specific sports, what you could eat, different quantities. You could make an appointment with a registered dietitian to get some insight and understanding on what a good diet actually is and how you can have that diet work for you and figure out the foods that are good and wholesome and nutritious for you and the ones that maybe you want to skip. So there are different ways for us to figure this out. Most important thing is that we're figuring it out. Good talking to you. Have a good day. Take care. You take care as well. Thanks for dropping by. And I'll take a look into Jesse Pollack and see, what about fasting? How often do you fast? I don't know. Sounds so. Yeah, very good. I'm glad that the audio quality has improved over time. And I appreciate you dropping by and continuing to drop by, Mr. White. What about fasting? I'm not a particularly pro or against fasting at all, actually. It works for some people, it doesn't work for others. There's no harm in it. There are benefits to it. I will sometimes skip breakfast and I'll stay fasted. So from after dinner till about noon or 1 p.m. And the funny thing is, when you do that, usually after a while you don't even notice that you haven't eaten. You just get on with your day. And I feel good about it. But I don't do anything like intermittent fasting. I've tried. It's not for me. I enjoy food. I enjoy my breakfast. I enjoy lunch. And I enjoy dinner. And that seems to work well for me. And that comes back to what I always say at the beginning, right? Health and fitness is very personal, and there's no wrong or right way to go about it after your personal goals within the guidelines and boundaries and the things that have been proven to be healthy. And there are a lot of options. And for some people, fasting is a really good option to exercise some control over the quantity and then specifically the number of calories that they consume in a day. And if that works for you, that's super. Because I think that if that is something that is helpful and that keeps us on track, that helps us reach or maintain a steady, healthy weight over an extended period of time, or that helps us gradually reach that goal weight where we feel we are healthy and doing well, that's a tool worth using and pursuing and understanding, if that makes sense. So we were talking about nutrition being the best tool for weight maintenance, weight control, right? As usually when we talk about losing weight, what we're talking about is losing fat and then gaining muscle. So my strategy over time is to keep more or less to the same weight, eat well and sufficiently, and gradually over time, simply change some of my fat mass for muscle mass. And we'll get there, given enough time and energy and consistency. I think the key here is consistency. Showing up every day and doing something is better than not doing anything at all and then doing a burst for a week and then not doing anything at all again for a while. So simply by showing up every day and doing something, I already notice a big improvement in my health and fitness. If I mind my breakfast every day, good. I've had a good, healthy, nutritious breakfast every day for a year. That's great. Then we can look into minding our lunch every day. It's great. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Right? So lunch is not going to be super healthy every day. I'm also out of the house at work, facing all kinds of stresses and whatnots. Right? It makes a big difference for me whether I'm at home, have control over all of the ingredients, or whether I'm at work, eating in the restaurant at work. Oh, you're a personal trainer, or did you teach yourself everything? It's a good question. No, I've been in and out of gyms my whole life, and specifically when I was 30, so I can give you a bit of backstory here. When I was 31, 32, I was overweight. I was like 101, 102 kilos. That's about 15, 20 kilos heavier than I am today. And I saw a picture of myself one day, and I decided that that picture did not at all represent who I was or who I wanted to be in life. And something needed to change, and I was on my commute, on my walk from home to the train station. I passed by a small, semi-private gym every day. So one day I just walked in. I said I'd like a membership, and I hit it off with all of the trainers, one of the trainers in specific. And he taught me a lot about health and fitness. It was so funny because as a 30-year-old, 32 or 33-year-old dude, I was getting some lessons on life and health from a 21-year-old. But those lessons stuck, and there were ups and downs after that, but I got all the weight off. The pictures to prove it. Got very big, very strong. And then we had kids. We had COVID. So things changed. And then about 2 years ago, when the youngest one started sleeping again, I decided it was time, because I found a rhythm. We were on holiday, the same spot we're going to go in April this year. We found a rhythm that, just changing the timers for some core work here, found a rhythm that worked, that I could actually wake up early and do the workouts. And I started in April 2 years ago, and we've been at it ever since, and in a good way. So what I learned with kettlebells, what I learned generally about weight training and strength and conditioning training, a strong foundation with different personal trainers. And, pardon me, this summer I completed a course in personal training and health and fitness coaching myself. So I'm now also a personal trainer and health and fitness coach. 1, 2, kettlebell specifically, I started to learn indeed with videos and instruction videos. But we had a relatively solid foundation because of all of the fitness and technique work I'd done on deadlifts and presses and pulls. with those personal trainers, but I follow courses on kettlebell. So I go to some of the instructors and coaches for like one-on-one training to work on technique, like 2 or 3 times a year, right? And that's fun. And that also gives me something to do in a good way. So yeah, that's how I learned. Part of it with the kettlebell self-taught. A lot of it is instruction and training and experience and other people pointing things out. And I think there's a lot we can learn on our own. But I think there's also a lot of benefit from getting help from people who've some experience in education. So for example, when I talk to my physiotherapist about how my body moves, it's again a very different conversation than when we talk to a personal trainer, right? Unless the personal trainer was educated as a physiotherapist, because they spent 4 or 5 years of their life studying anatomy and kinetic chains and how the human body works. So I hope that that answered your question, and thanks for dropping by and actually asking that and being interested. We're coming towards the end of the workout. Suitcase deadlifts to work on that core stabilization. And we've got one more exercise. And then we're done for today. And for those of you who are dropping by and watching, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old. And I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep, minding what I eat, strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training. Today's a mobility day. Why am I doing this? Well, a couple of reasons. I've learned that I might live to be 90 years old, and that's really nice. But I've also understood that those final 5 or 10 years of my life might be fraught with disease and discomfort because we don't keep up with our health and fitness throughout life. Now, barring any tragedy, I would intend to live a long and healthy and fit life. And therefore, I would like to invest in my health and fitness from now going forward. And I have been investing in my health and fitness for years. It's always been a point of pleasure and interest to me. So if that's something you're interested in, you go ahead, check out my channel, subscribe, leave a message in the chat. We can talk about my journey and what I've learned and the challenges I face. Today we talked about nutrition. Tomorrow we're going to talk about working out again while we work out with the Kettlebell Swings program. Friends, thanks for dropping by. Poor Man's Gym, Mr. White. I appreciate your dropping by, chatting. Appreciate the compliments. Thank you so much. And I hope you're well where you are in the world today. Remember, we're good just the way we are. We we've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So, well, thank you for dropping by. I'll see you tomorrow or another video. Take care, friends.